feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the new world. This is my home, and I welcome you into it. If you're with someone, now is your chance to turn to them and tell them how much they mean to you. Tell them you love them. If you're by yourself, now is the time to acknowledge that you are never really alone, that the presence of God, the presence of the divine, is always with you and is being you. So acknowledge that presence now and tell them how grateful, tell him, her, it, how grateful you are for being alive. Our opener is I'm Choosing Heaven Today. All right, please sing along with me as loud as you can. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I choose love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose love today. I choose grace. I choose grace today. I choose grace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose grace today. I choose health. I choose health today. I choose health today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose health today. I choose abundance. I choose abundance today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose abundance today. I choose joy. I choose joy today. I choose joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose joy today. And I choose heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I choose heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose heaven today.
Good morning and welcome to Unity Center of Cedar Rapids. Well, as you can tell, we're not meeting virtually this morning from the sanctuary. Rather, this is my living room. Because of some new health protocols that were put in place this week, we find it necessary, out of an abundance of caution, to pre-record the service and to splice together the different parts so that hopefully it'll make it into a seamless service for you to experience this morning. And even though this is a pre-recorded service, I will be on Facebook and YouTube with you this morning, and we'll be making some comments, so I hope you talk to me there. Each Sunday morning, we affirm an invocation, which is particularly important and relevant right now. It speaks to the truth that there's only one presence and one power in the universe, that no matter what we're facing in this current season, that truly there's only one presence and one power active in us and in our lives, even when circumstances seem contrary to that. And so I ask you this morning, as we affirm this truth, just to know it deeply within you, to hold it there, and then allow it to reverberate through every fiber of your being so that it is sent forth into the world to bless it as well. So let's affirm together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. There's only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. And so it is. Amen. Again, today's service is pre-recorded. I'm in my home, so welcome, and I hope and I pray that you will extend me some grace this morning with not particularly good lighting and maybe even not really good sound quality. I'm so grateful, however, for Edwin and Lisa, who have just gone beyond expectations to provide this service for us this morning. So thank you so much, and for the whole audiovisual and multimedia team. How can we serve you? And that's a question that I'm really holding in my heart right now, and I need you to help me to answer that question. How can we serve you as we are physically distant from one another? How can we serve you in a way that you feel connected? How can we, as a spiritual community, serve you in a way that meets your current needs? So please let me know. You can email me at minister@unitycr.org. I'll put that in the comments as we are enjoying and participating in the service this morning. Or call the church office or our new pastoral care line, and I'll put that number in the comments section as well. There are 3 ways during the week that you can join with us other than our online Sunday services, and that is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We are joining together for a brief evening prayer and check-in, and by brief I mean 10 minutes long. It's at 8 o'clock. We just share prayer, we just check in with one another, just to have a moment of connection, and then we join together in a prayer to help us get ready for sleep. And so join me on Facebook Live at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, on Wednesdays, we've continued our Lenten meditation as well, and I invite you to join me for that. We are using the book, Fasting and Feasting, Unity's Lenten Devotional Guide, and joining for a time of a longer meditation with a brief period of silence. So join me for that as well. That is also, you can join that via Facebook Live as well. We are also looking for some other virtual ways to connect with you. So watch your email, watch your Facebook, and we will get that information to you as soon as we have more to share with you. This morning, I want to share with you today's daily word, because I find it, just as our opening statement, our invocation was this morning, particularly relevant and pertinent and timely and touching for this moment. And today's daily word is inner peace. And I don't know about you, but I'm really affirming that and knowing that and anchoring myself in the peace of God within me. 1 Kings 19:12 shares, "And after the earthquake of fire, but the Lord was not in the fire, and after the fire, a sound of sheer silence." Our affirmation is, I find the peace of God in the silence within me. I find the peace of God in the silence within me. The Hebrew scriptures tell the story of the word of the Lord commanding the prophet Elijah to stand on the mountains before the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by. As he waits, Elijah fails to find God as he endures a wind strong enough to split the mountains, an earthquake, and then a fire. Then Elijah discovers God in the sound of sheer silence. This chaos surrounds me as I try to find the peace of God. Other times, the chaos may be inside me. I persist in my efforts as I confront inner storms, fires, and earthquakes in my search for peace. Like Elijah, I remain steadfast in faith and undisturbed by what is happening around me. I wait for distractions to pass, and I affirm and know that I find the peace of God in the silence within me. I find the peace of God in the silence within me. Amen. Let's join this morning in our unity statement, a statement that truly does connect and bind us together as a spiritual community. So let's lift this up together. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We gather to create an experience of spirit. At UnityCR, we offer practical teachings that empower abundant and meaningful living. Meeting you right where you are, we endeavor to provide a variety of ways to support your path of spiritual living. And so it is. Amen.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? Join me. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Sing, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are whole. And your love is a miracle. You are beautiful. You are whole. How deeply you're connected to my soul. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am whole. And my love is a miracle. I am beautiful. I am whole. How deeply I'm connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Be still and know that Be still and know that I am God. Be still, be still, be still, and know that I am God. A song by Peter Mayer. There are 100 billion snowflakes swirling in the cosmic storm, and each one is a galaxy, a billion stars or more, and each star is a million Earths, a giant fiery sun, high up in some sky, maybe shining on someone. Deep inside a snowflake, I am floating quietly. I am infinitesimal, impossible to see. Sitting in my tiny kitchen, in my tiny home, staring out my window at a universe of snow. But my soul is so much bigger than the very tiny me. It reaches out into the snowstorm like a net into the sea, out to all the lovely places where my body cannot go. I touch that beauty and embrace it in the bosom of my soul. And so brief and fleeting is this tiny life of mine, like a single quarter note in the march of time. But my soul is like the music, it goes back to ancient days, back before it wore a human face, long before it bore my name. Cause my soul is so much older than the evanescent me. It can describe the dawn of time like a childhood memory. It is a spark that was begotten of the darkness long ago. What my body has forgotten, I remember in my soul. So we live this life together, my giant soul and tiny me, one resembling forever, one like smoke upon the breeze, one the deep abiding ocean, one a sudden flashing wave, counting galaxies like snowflakes. I would swear we were the same. Oh, my soul belongs to beauty, takes me up to lofty heights, teaches sacred stories to me, sanctifies my tiny life, lays
lays a bridge across the ages, melts the boundaries of my bones, paints a bold eternal face on this passing moment. Oh, my soul.
Nina, thank you. Thank you so much for providing music for us this morning. Again, Nina is one of those who has gone the extra mile to make sure that we connect with one another during this service in ways that are inspiring and uplifting. So thank you, Nina. You are such a blessing to me and to all of us. Thank you. A clergy friend of mine from Macon, Georgia, Jake Hall, posted this great video on his Facebook page this week. It is a video of Jake outside of his house in his backyard with his child's bubble wand blowing bubbles. And he said that the reason he was out there doing that was that he just had to remember to breathe. Jake was in his house practicing physical distancing with his wife and his young children. Now, Jake is, again, the pastor of a large, thriving, growing Cooperative Baptist church. He's an extremely progressive man. He's a leader in the community, a voice for social justice and inclusion. And he's also a dad with young children that he and his wife were attempting to homeschool since the schools were closed in Macon. And so he had to remind himself as he was pondering how to reach out to his large congregation, how to pastor and minister to them, how to remain committed to his responsibilities while at the same time remaining connected with his family and doing what he needed to do to assure that his children were happy and well and continuing to learn. You need to remember to breathe. And I have to remind myself of that right now, to be mindful, to be present by just breathing. For Jake, family life looks different now. School looks and feels different for his children. Church definitely shared in my Lenten meditation on Wednesday evening that I was struggling with the experience of time, that sometimes time feels compressed and sped up, and sometimes it feels like I'm floating in timelessness. I just can't get a good footing. I'm part of a nationwide interreligious Facebook group that have come together to share our feelings, our concerns, our ideas, our best practices during our response to COVID-19 and the ways that we are reaching out to our various communities. These are rabbis, Christian clergy, unity ministers, rabbis and imams and women religious and all kinds of people. And what is holding us together, what is connecting us, are these very real human emotions. We're also laughing at ourselves as we're learning to do a synagogue, a temple, a mosque, or a church without walls. We're particularly laughing at ourselves, particularly those who aren't all that tech savvy and aren't used to seeing ourselves on camera as much. So the ragged edges of our egos are being trimmed a bit. We're sort of over that. And we're getting creative too in how we do this. I did. I'm using the cat tree to hold the computer this morning to get it at the right height. So my cat is very confused and she may make an appearance in this video. I'm using a bookcase and a cutting board as a lectern. This group, and I believe that you will too, agree that connection is ultimately the most important thing, no matter what it looks like, no matter how awkward or strange or downright uncomfortable, that what is the imperative is connection. And we know, particularly we in Unity, know that it boils down to love. For love is that which connects us heart to heart and soul to soul. I plan my lessons a month in advance. I've done that for 25 years. And the reason I do that is to bring some shape and order to my thinking and to my life, but also to allow the music team and others to have the time necessary to create a service that's woven well together. And the lesson today, which I planned in February, is based on a poem, as all my lessons in March have been based on poems, but this one is based on a poem by Maya Angelou, a poem entitled A Brave and Startling Truth. Now, at first, when I read over the intention for this lesson this morning, I felt that I needed to change the trajectory, but then I read the poem again and I thought better of it. We need it. Oh, let me correct that. I need it. As you may know, Maya Angelou was a Unity student. She served for a while on an education committee that I was peripherally involved in at Unity Worldwide. So Maya's poetry reflects her spiritual commitments, but her poetry also is a clear-eyed portrait of unhealed human nature. She lifts the curtain on humanity so that we see not only its light, but also its darkness. And the poem I'm using today does just that. But it ultimately leads us to a place. It leads us to a place of affirmation, one in which we can affirm the brave and startling truth of who we are. It reads in part, "We, this people on a small and lonely planet, traveling through casual space, past aloof stars, across the way of indifferent suns, to a destination where all signs tell us it is possible and an imperative that we learn a brave and startling truth. We, this people, on this small and drifting planet, whose hands can strike with such abandon that in a twinkling life is sapped from the living. Yet these same hands can touch with such healing and irresistible tenderness. When we come to it, we must confess that we are the possible, we are the miraculous, the true wonders of this world. That is when, and only when, we come to it. That is when, and only when, we come to it." I can't find the correct attribution for this quote, but it goes something like this. Circumstances do not make us, they reveal us. Circumstances do not make us, they reveal us. Circumstances reveal what is unhealed. They reveal also what is remarkable, the brave, the startling truth of us. I'm touched by all the folks who are sewing masks for the hospital right now, delivering food, checking on their neighbors. I am touched by all the doctors and nurses and medical professionals who are on the front lines as they treat and do what they can to heal those who are experiencing coronavirus. It would be so easy for us to build impenetrable walls, but by and large, at least the people I know and I am connected to aren't doing that. Indeed, we are being responsible and maintaining our physical distance, but we are remaining connected. And so the circumstance is not making us, it is not defining us, but it is revealing us, revealing the miraculous and wonderful nature of God in us. And I know that it can do otherwise as well. And we are seeing some of that express as well. Some years ago, I was on a shopping trip to a mall. And I came out after a bit with my packages, and my car, someone had rammed it so hard that was a big scratch on it and a dent in the side. And I thought, who in the world would be so ungracious and thoughtless as to hit my car and then not even leave a note? Well, I opened the door and then chastened myself because I'd left the door unlocked. I threw my packages in, I threw my purse in, I flung myself in the car. It was the days before key fob, so I got out my car key and I put it in the ignition, and nothing happened. It wasn't my car. Mortified and utterly humiliated and trying to be as inconspicuous as possible, I slunk out of the car and skulked away to find my own vehicle. And I think the analogy of getting in the wrong car is the best one that I can use right now for how I feel. In January, I got into a car that seemed to be going in the right direction, and now I find myself in another car. And it just doesn't feel right. Something is off. And so this circumstance is revealing me those places of fear and frustration, all of it. But is also revealing a good measure of strength and faith as well. What have you learned about yourself in the midst of all this? If you feel comfortable, share it in the comments and I'll respond to you. As Maya Angelou reminds us, there is a brave and startling truth that is revealed in us. And that can be the car that we are in at the moment. And the question that we can ask us is, how can we be present to this moment and to all that is emerging within us, while at the same time remaining connected with each other? Well, here are some suggestions. Pray. And by prayer, I mean the active form of prayer, affirming, claiming, but also the passive aspect of prayer, meditation, sitting in the silence and the quietness. Pray by speaking and affirming the truth, and then be still, as our daily word reminds us today, in the sheer silence, and allow the very voice of God, the still small voice within you, to speak. Prayer connects us consciously to God, but prayer also connects us to each other. So pray for one another. Pray that God opens you to life and well-being, but pray for others as well. Pray for the nurses and the doctors and the healthcare workers. Pray for those who are under financial stress right now as businesses are closed, as they are losing their jobs. Pray for the homeless. Pray for them. Pray for those in prisons who are experiencing great numbers of coronavirus patients. Pray for those who are in immigrant detention centers who, on a good day, get poor medical care. Pray for those who mourn, those who have lost a loved one. Pray for those who are afraid. For as we pray for others, we open ourselves up to that same energy. And as that prayer energy moves through us, it heals and blesses us as well. Next, be kind. The Dalai Lama said, "Be kind whenever possible," and he continues by saying, "It is always possible." I know some of you, again, are sewing masks for the hospital. Keep it up. Reach out also to your neighbors and friends. Show kindness to your mail carrier. A friend of mine who is a mail carrier sent a picture, and it was a sweet note from one of the families on her route. They taped a note to a roll of toilet paper and told her how much they appreciated her. I love that. So share. share of your abundance. Be brave. Now, being brave doesn't mean to be reckless, but to bravely stand in the understanding that God is mighty in the midst of you and mighty in the midst of this moment. It means to adopt a spirit of nobility, the nobility of spirit that is that brave and startling truth within you, which is the grace and the power and the strength of God that is liberated within you. And to be brave means to acknowledge our feelings and our anxieties and our fears as they emerge within us, rather than resisting them. Just let them be. Take care of your physical body. The physical body is the vehicle, the gift that you have been given to express God's presence in the world. Exercise, walk, do yoga, eat well. A friend of mine posted this on Facebook that she needs to practice physical distancing from the refrigerator. And if that is the truth for you as it is for me, then do that. Eat well. Laugh. I know that for many this is no time for laughter. This is a no laughing matter. Ecclesiastes 3 shares there is a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. And I don't want my suggestion to laugh to in any way minimize anyone's experience, but joy seems to open a door through which the laughter of God comes bellowing. It is healing. It is a vibration which restores us, that renews what is broken. It heals our hearts and salves the soul. And we need that healing balm right now. Again, my clergy group is having fun laughing at ourselves as we smooth out the ragged edges of our egos, but it also connects us in our times together and reminds us that we are one and that we are workers in this same vineyard. And there are memes going around that humorously acknowledge the stress of parents who are now homeschooling their children while also attempting to work from home. My favorite is, homeschooling is going well, but 2 students were suspended for fighting and 1 teacher was fired for drinking on the job. A couple of days ago, our cat Layla ripped up an entire roll of toilet paper. She was caught in the act, and she knew she was in trouble. She had that look on her face, like, uh-oh, I've been busted. Don scooped her up and scolded her. And he said to her, Layla, people are fighting over this and you rip it up like it has no value. Now, I'm still laughing at this, primarily because Don thought he could reason with a cat. But, I think she really understood this. But we're also now closing the bathroom door. Remember what I said, trust God, but tie up the camel. Stay grounded. Listen to your favorite music. I'm going to post a playlist soon, but there are lots of them online right now. I listen to the Allman Brothers. Love them. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Love him. All Thursday afternoon. I was dancing. It was great. I love to dance. That's how I roll, folks. You don't know that about me yet, but you'll learn that soon. Keep some devotional material at hand. Favorite books. Check out websites. Unity.org has some great podcasts and prayer tools and videos, some great resources. Unity.org, check it out. For me, poetry grounds me. But also I'm grounded by and in the poetic inspiration of Scripture. And these words from the Gospel of John have been particularly meaningful for me right now. Peace I leave you. My peace I give to you, not as the world give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. It is as if Jesus is saying, just breathe. We will get through this. We'll get through this together. Pray, be kind, be brave, take care of your body, laugh when you can, stay connected, stay grounded, and remember the words of Maya Angelou, that the brave and startling truth is that we can bless each other with healing. We can bless each other with an irresistible tenderness. When we come to it, she says, that is the brave and startling truth. We must confess that we are the possible. We are the miraculous, the true wonder of this world. That is when, and only when, we come to it. Keep holding to the truth, friends, and God bless you.
Another wonderful song by Peter Mayer, Blue Boat Home, for the offertory.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun my sail and moon my rudder, as I ply the starry seas, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
We take a moment now to bless our tithes and offerings, and we thank Laura Mead and Lisa Klosterman for investigating and implementing some new ways for us to share our good with UCR and with our community more broadly. But as we bless our tithes and offerings this morning, let's also remember and hold in our hearts all those in our community. Perhaps you are as well experiencing financial stress right now in the midst of all of this. And let's send that prayers of love and our compassion and open our hearts to one another. Let us affirm, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And we consecrate and we dedicate these tithes, these gifts, and these offerings to the will, the work, and the way of the Christ, as it expresses through this ministry of love, healing, and service. And so it is. Amen. And now let's join together in singing, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect unity. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We end our time together, as we do every Sunday, by affirming and knowing for one another, and today by knowing for the entire world, the prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and we shall know that all is well. God bless you, and thank you for being with us today.